So we want this space to start to inflate, but at some point you'll feel that the abdominal muscle will just create a little bit of contraction. And that will prevent the organ to keep pushing in that direction. The word tension is not accurate. I use it in opposition to contraction, where for example, when I do abs exercise, you're contracting the muscle, versus keeping the muscle relaxed, but having just enough elasticity that this natural elasticity of the muscle doesn't allow the pressure to go any further. So as we reach this, we'll feel that it helps to send actually that pressure down towards the perineum. So you can place your hand on the abdomen. At first, take a few breaths where you let like the abdominal muscle completely loose. Feel that the pressure goes, and at some point it kind of stops. And then as you exhale, just kind of come back in. So this part is fairly easy to feel. Now we're just going to add a little bit of that elastic contraction of the abdominal muscle to feel that when they do tighten up just enough, we feel the pressure being redirected towards the perineum. And we still can inhale a little bit more at that point. And you can play a little bit between the two so that the difference becomes clear in your mind. Now that we have that feeling where the abdominal needs to keep a little bit of tension, I'll use that word, and we start to feel it at the perineum, then the perineum ends up having the same situation happening. Although it's a lot smaller space, if the perineum is too relaxed or empty, I would say, when we direct that pressure down, it feels like it's opening, but there's no elasticity, there's no tension into it, versus contraction being overly tense, just to make a difference in the word I use. So we need a little bit of that tension at the perineum, the group of the perineum muscle, in order to send that pressure back towards the lower back. And at the same time, because the perineum muscle also attached to the tailbone and the sacrum, they will help pull the tailbone and the sacrum under, which will help straighten the spine, creating more space towards the back and making it easier for that bubble that holds the organ to expand backward as well. So now we're starting to see why there's the importance of that chain of event to create the proper space inward. Because if the perineum is too loose and the organ pushes down, there's no space for the coccyx and the sacrum to be able to slide under. We've talked about before the importance of the hip structure to open the sacroiliac joint so that the sacrum and the coccyx can slide under naturally. If my sitting posture is not good, then I'll be preventing the sacrum to do that and preventing the spine from having that flexibility of movement, of reducing the curvature. And already by integrating those 3 steps, you should reach about the maximum capacity of the abdominal breathing, which is more or less a volume of about 3 liters of air as the diaphragm pushes down. So as the diaphragm can go lower and lower, creating more space, the lower part of the lungs start to inflate, more specifically. Then when we'll open up the ribs, the middle part will start to inflate more as well. So for now, just feeling the abdominal breathing, feeling the moment where the abdominal muscles start to tense up, not being contracted, but just nice natural tension happening to redirect the force to the pelvic floor. The pelvic muscle also get into that slight tension, pulling with them the sacrum and the coccyx, helping the spine to start to stretch, and then relaxing the lumbar square area and the psoas part inside so that the spine can actually move backward. So if I'm facing this way, my spine is curved inward, so I have the lumbar square that's on the outside, and the inside of the spine is laid with the psoas. So as I start to breathe, bringing the sacrum that's here under, that helps to straighten a little bit the spine, relaxing the lumbar square, allow this to happen more, and then just a little bit of contraction, of tension, sorry, not contraction, but of tension of the inside part of the psoas will help push the spine even more straight and maintain it there. The psoas muscle that are attached from the legs to the spine can have two different effects on the lumbar. If the curvature of the lumbar is already fairly pronounced, then they'll increase it because because of the way they're attached to will just compress the upper and the lower part closer together. But if the lumbar spine is not too curved, it's actually a little bit more straight, when the two parts will start to become a little bit more tense, they'll actually end up pushing the spine away, outwards. So that's why we want first to have the perineum and the sacrum start to get inside before the psoas start to play the role in straightening the spine to help support from the inside. And then you also have the pressure from the whole organ balloon pushing outward, helping to feel all this area becoming very solid. Since everything is kind of compressing inward in each direction, and because the organ can go anywhere, it's like if you have a balloon that's on the ground and you try to push on it, it cannot be pushed anymore, so you start to feel that bouncing back effect. The force doesn't have anywhere to go. So that creates a very nice solidity, and we reach that balanced state where everything is very solid in the abdomen.